The thing that everybody's talking about is Tank came out and said he was going to retire. Is that really happening?
That's his decision.
Yeah.
That's his decision.
Leonard Ellerbe is speaking out following the cancellation of Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach's fight. Tank has sparked rumors on social media that his planned fight is off, but his opponent seems to dispute that claim. Davis claims that his WBA lightweight title defense, which was originally scheduled for March 1st, 2025, is no longer taking place, though Lamont Roach may not have the final say yet. In response to an inquisitive fan's question on his Instagram story regarding whether the fight with Davis was canceled, the challenge for the Q-Tall 225 title bout posted videos of himself shadowboxing and sparring with M-Call Fox. Roach expressed shock and asked why such questions were even being asked, saying, "The you keep asking me for that, not me. I'm locked in, ain't changed." As of right now, PBC, the event's organizers, have not commented on the incident, and tickets for the Davis vs. Roach showdown are still available for purchase. The event is scheduled for March 1st in Brooklyn. There is uncertainty as to whether the fight will go off as scheduled or be canceled, leaving supporters anxiously anticipating clarity. Prior to the fight in Brooklyn's Barclays Center, which was originally planned for December 14 in Houston, Texas, it was postponed due to a scheduling conflict. Gervonta Davis is scheduled to defend his lightweight championship against the current WBA super featherweight champion, Roach, who has been given a unique opportunity to keep his title and win a second WBA title in a heavier weight class, specifically the WBA super featherweight title. Davis, who previously won the IBF title in the same division, was the owner of the crown Roach that he currently possesses.
Tank and his team, they can't be both. They can't be Tank and be the opponent as well. You know what I mean? So they've said a lot of things, but the one thing that they haven't said is that they wanted to fight Devin.
I can understand where he's coming from, though. I totally can understand. Things are different when you have kids. Things are different, especially girls, as he mentioned.
Following Devin Haney's decision to give up the title, Devin Davis was promoted from regular WBA lightweight champion to the lineal title holder. The 30-year-old cemented his reign by defeating Frank Martin via impressive 8th-round knockout in June, successfully defending his newly won title. There was a lot of conjecture that Davis would fight for a title unification confrontation with IBF champion Vasily Lomachenko, but negotiations broke down during the summer when Lomachenko decided to withdraw from the sport and forfeited the chance to face the Maryland-born contender Tank. However, Davis's Instagram post from Monday night seems to suggest otherwise. He claimed on his account that the fight was kennel. While Davis was busy announcing the cancellation of their fight, Roach released a video showing off his shadowboxing skills in the gym right after a sparring session. Although it looks like the Roaches are still training, it is currently unknown if Davis is as well. Roach Sr., who also trains his son, has provided boxing scenes with some insight into the situation. He said in a brief statement that, "We haven't heard anything as far as I am concerned. The fight is still on. Nothing has changed on our end."
First, we're going to get this fight here in New York. There are a lot of questions of why Lamont Roach, right? Let's not discredit him. He's a great fighter, great chin, high IQ. But why Lamont Roach? That's the questions that all the fans are asking at the beginning.
Look, I think the reality is, I think those are fair questions. I mean, look, when you have fighters the caliber of Tank, of Canelo, the bar is always high. When you continue to perform well against high level opposition, people expect a lot from, there were preliminary discussions about the Shakur fight, early on.
The current WBA super featherweight champion Roach received special permission from the prestigious sanctioning body to step up in weight class and compete for a world title at a higher division while maintaining his 130-pound crown. He won the black and gold belt by split decision against Hector Luis Garcia in November 2023 and successfully defended it against Fargo MCC in June after Devon Haney gave up the title in November 2023. As of right now, tickets for Davis vs. Roach are still available for purchase online, and the event promoter, PBC, has not yet to provide any updates regarding the contest status. Since being promoted from regular to full WBA world champion, Davis has only fought once, defeating unbeaten prospect Frank Martin in the 8th round this past June. Meanwhile, his longtime trainer Calvin Ford has broken his silence on the matter with a mysterious social media post. The eagerly awaited fight between Davis and Lamont Roach had already been postponed several times. Due to scheduling issues, the fight was rescheduled from December 14th at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, when Davis's WBA title was at stake, to March 1st in Brooklyn, New York. Additionally, many fans expressed strong disapproval of Davis's opponent's selection, viewing it as an easy matchup for the well-liked Tank. It's worth noting that PBC, the fight's promoters, has not yet issued an official statement, and tickets for the March 1st event are still available online. If the fight will occur amid all of this uncertainty, only time will tell. Ford expressed his thoughts on the matter in an Instagram post, saying, "People frequently don't understand my suffering, my beliefs and feelings about a variety of topics. But I know that knowledge is actually a great gift from my Lord, that inspires me to keep going and work toward becoming the best version of myself in my community." The well-known person behind Golden Boy Promotions, former world champion Oscar De La Hoya, has stepped in to help Davis find a new opponent. It's worth noting that Davis had previously stated that he intended to retire from boxing after a few fights in 2025, which may provide some context for his remarks about the fight cancellation. Regardless, Oscar seems to be attempting to find Davis another opponent. "John, give me a call if you need a fight. I have the perfect guy for you," he wrote on X. Oscar was involved in co-promoting the fight between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, but it's also possible that this was a calculated move to get fans excited and talk about the battle. Calvin Ford's statement doesn't provide much information about why Gervonta Davis canceled her fight with Lamont Roach, but given that tickets are still available, it is probable that the fight will go off as planned, whether Davis or another opponent is involved. Before Tank landed a vicious body blow that sent Ryan Garcia to the mat in a stunning finish in April 2023, Davis recently defeated Frank Martin in the 8th round in Las Vegas earlier this year. Pooch, who hasn't competed since his convincing victory against FGO MCC in Washington last June, is jumping up from 130 pounds, with the goal of defeating Tank and proving himself in the ring as the only man to give him a loss.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends, probably.
Is it going to be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all going to be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money. Yeah.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
Oh, true. Okay.
Inquiring as to whether the fight between Davis and Shakur Stevenson was ever likely to happen, the host brought up the rumors on social media. When asked why, Haney asked if they had announced it and if he had heard Tank say that he was going to fight to take a last swing at Davis. Haney concluded that Stevenson versus Davis would be a good fight. "I believe Tank is avoiding real boxers for a reason." Regardless of what Haney Sr. thinks of the Davis versus Roach fight, Roach seems very confident that he will dominate, astound, and amaze many with his performance. "When the fight happens, I expect it to be the fight of the year for everyone who doesn't know I can bully. When I'm in my zone, I'm stuck, and I'm going to surprise and shock a lot of people when I win," Roach told TMZ Sports in an interview a few weeks ago. Roach stated that he will be the one looking down on Davis on fight night, despite the fact that Davis has defeated opponents in his last 4 fights. He added that a highly anticipated fight between Gervonta Davis and Vasyl Lomachenko was once thought to be one of the biggest boxing events of 2024. The two elite lightweights were scheduled to fight for a title unification bout in December, but negotiations broke down when Lomachenko decided to take the rest of the year off. Similar obstacles have also plagued other possible matchups, including Shakur Stevenson, William Zappa, George Cassos Jr., and Devin Haney.
I'm very, very confident Tank beats all those guys. All those guys. You name, any of them you name, Tank can beat them.
Where would a fight with like a Devin Haney or a Teofimo Lopez sort of sit on the grand scheme of his schedule?
I don't think that you can put a timeline on that kind of stuff because the big fights happen when they really make sense for both sides. And, you know, I know the fans get a little impatient at times, and that's understandable because they don't really understand how the business goes, you know. Tank's coming off of a fight where, you know, he's made tens of millions of dollars. And Tank alone has been generating, 8-figure revenue every single fight. Tank makes you an offer. It's probably not going to be what you expect because you get paid on what you kind of weigh. Tank is here and the other guys are there, and I'm solely talking about generating the revenue.